Simon Sinek is known for completely changing how we think about leadership. His TED Talks have hundreds of millions of views, and his books are required reading for executives everywhere. After watching hundreds of hours of content from his interviews, videos, and TED Talks, I can confirm that the best managers in the world are all using the exact same framework that Simon talks about. The problem is, over the years, he's posted thousands of hours of content online, and it would take days of your life to sift through it all to figure out what you're actually supposed to do on Monday morning. So, I'm gonna save you some time. I did the hard part for you. I researched most of Simon's content and books, and in this video, we're gonna break down his best advice into actionable steps that you can use to level up your leadership skills today. First, let's start with the biggest mistake most companies make that happens before a manager even starts their first day. The whole reason we promote people is they're good at their job. But suddenly when we do, we also expect them to magically know how to lead. But that's an entirely different skill set. This is how Simon explains the trap we all fall into. You were promoted because you were a great individual contributor. But your new job is not to do the work. Your new job is to build the environment where other people will do the work. I have seen so many managers burning themselves out because they are still trying to be the best player on the field instead of the coach. If you are constantly stepping in to do it yourself because it's faster, honestly, you're failing at your new job. So here is how you can fix this tomorrow. I want you to do an 80-20 audit of your calendar. Look at your schedule for the next week. If you are spending more than 20% of your time doing the actual technical work you used to do, you need to delegate that. Your calendar should be filled with one-on-ones, roadblock removal, and coaching. But when you start coaching, you're going to have to give feedback. And feedback is one of those places where managers can completely destroy any trust they have built. I want you to think about the last time you gave one of your employees critical feedback. Did you use the classic compliment sandwich? You know, you say something nice, you deliver the bad news, and then end with something nice. Simon learned the hard way, this is a terrible idea. It's funny because that's exactly what happens when a manager assumes everyone communicates like them. You think you're being clear, and they think they're being attacked. So, instead of guessing, you need a framework. Simon's team teaches something called the FBI method. It stands for feelings, behavior, and impact. If an employee is constantly interrupting people in meetings, you don't say, "You're being disrespectful." That's just attacking their character. Instead, use the FBI method. I felt frustrated when you interrupted Sarah's pitch because it derailed the conversation and the idea got shut down. This process removes the personal attack and focuses entirely on the result. Your action step here is simple. The next time you have to give negative feedback, write it down using the FBI formula before you walk into the room. But fixing negative feedback is only half the battle. If you really want to get the most out of your teams, you have to completely flip how you look at positive reinforcement. Most managers are going to spend 90% of their time putting out fires and looking for mistakes. Simon argues that if you want to scale your team's performance, you have to do the exact opposite. It sounds so simple, but almost no one does it systematically. I've had managers who only talk to their team when something is broken, and then they wondered why the team is anxious and disengaged. When you only point out failures, your team stops taking risks. When you point out wins, they'll repeat them. This is your action step to implement this immediately. Set a recurring alarm on your phone for 3 in the afternoon every Friday. When the alarm goes off, you find one person on your team that did something right that week that nobody else noticed. Don't just say, "Great job." Be specific. Tell them exactly what they did and why it mattered to the team or to the customer. Send it in a direct message. Or, better yet, tell them face to face. If you do this once a week for a month, I guarantee you will see a massive shift in that person's energy and output. Now, there is a small catch here. If you reward the wrong thing, you may accidentally build toxic culture. And this is the final, most crucial piece of Simon's playbook. Pretty much every company has core values written on a wall somewhere. Integrity, innovation, honesty, honesty. But if you want to know what a company's culture actually is, don't look at the wall, look at the people who they promote. Culture equals values plus behavior. If your top salesperson is hitting all their numbers, but they're incredibly toxic to the rest of the team, and you promote them, you just told your entire company that behavior doesn't matter. You have to turn your values into verbs. It's not integrity, it's we do the right thing. The final action step I recommend is to audit who you are rewarding. Are you only rewarding the final outcome, or are you rewarding the initiative? If an employee takes a massive swing at a new project and misses, but they exhibited all the behaviors you value in a leader, you want to praise the behavior. When you reward the behaviors you want to see repeated, the mission success eventually follows. Now, mastering these management skills is crucial, but there is one specific mistake that leaders make that can destroy all of this trust in an instant. Simon Sinek talks about how CEOs unknowingly signal to their employees that they are expendable. And this usually happens in the very first presentation to the company. I break down exactly what this mistake is and how to make sure you never make it in this video right here. Click here to watch it, and I'll see you there.